Good evening. There's new evidence tonight that Metro schools may have wasted $1 million of your money.
And now our News Channel 5 Investigates team has uncovered proof that the school's director, Dr. Shawn Joseph, misled the school board about that contract. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams continues to dig up the facts. Phil?
Well, guys, we continue to dig because what happened to your money is important, but Metro Schools hasn't always been forthcoming. In the case of this $1 million, you would think the district would have proof that the money was well spent. It turns out that's not the case. Last spring, with Metro Schools facing a severe budget crunch, parents at Overton High School were forced to haul in boxes of paper just to keep the school operating.
In Prince George's County, we look at our data very closely.
But tight budgets did not stop Dr. Shawn Joseph from spending $1 million on software to track student achievement, software that Joseph had helped promote in his previous job. Metro Schools gave Performance Matters a $1 million no-bid contract for a system that it calls Unify. It was supposed to cover every single Metro Schools student. The district also signed a separate contract for another $500,000 just to have the company Certica Solutions write the questions for the software. So we decided to ask these teachers how well the program worked. Raise your hand if you use Unify. No one. I don't even know what it is.
Never heard of it.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
How much are we paying?
$1 million.
$1 million. So.
And we've never heard of it.
I have heard of it, and I have seen a very brief snippet of what it's supposed to do, but that is as far as it's not something that's used.
It was never.
It was never really rolled out to us to use.
News Channel 5 Investigates filed a public records request for data showing how many times anyone has ever logged into that $1 million system. But the district recently told us MNPS does not track usage or login information for the system. And Metro Schools claims the high-tech company also doesn't have any way to produce such data either. The reactions from the teachers?
Well, I think that just represents what we were talking about earlier, where we have invested in all of these awesome resources, but we don't have the training for them, or we don't know what they are.
I believe we looked at the Memphis contract as one of the piggyback options because they had been using it historically.
News Channel 5 Investigates recently discovered this video clip from a school board meeting last summer where Joseph downplayed his personal connections to Performance Matters.
So it's not something that we brought in that was, we brought it in because we knew Performance Matters and said, hey, here's a contract. They were using it in the state and effectively.
In fact, we obtained emails that showed Joseph first began talking to Performance Matters about a possible contract on June 13th, 2016, more than 2 weeks before he actually started the job. But that Shelby County contract that he referenced wasn't signed until June 30th. In other words, Joseph's claim
they had been using it historically
is false. Now, Metro Schools has already admitted it broke state law when it gave Performance Matters that $1 million contract 2 years ago without giving any other company a chance to bid. Now, you have to get this. After we continue to raise questions about whether the $1 million have been completely wasted over the last 2 years, principals suddenly received this memo last Friday. It tells them that they need to attend training that includes what the Performance Matters Unify system can do to help their schools, even though that contract ends in less than 4 months. Carrie?
So eye-opening. Thank you, Phil. Meanwhile, mid-year evaluations just completed by the school board show a majority say Dr. Joseph is not meeting expectations in ensuring all students are achieving academic growth in reading and math, not meeting expectations in closing achievement gaps among children of color, not meeting expectations in school climate and culture, not meeting expectations in employee morale, not meeting expectations in ensuring compliance with all legal requirements, not meeting expectations in the district's public relations, and not meeting expectations in recruiting and retaining effective teachers. You can read more about these evaluations on newschannel5.com.